audio is live. Gabriel, that's the wrong sharing.
What's that?
You need to put the different PowerPoint on there, the presentation mode.
Ready when? Do you want me to do a roll call?
Shall we open now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. The April 20th, 2021 Planning Commission of the Riverbank Planning Commission is now open. May we have roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner, Chair Joan Stewart.
Here.
Vice Chair Steve Link.
I'm here.
Commissioner John Dinan.
Here.
Commissioner Natasha Basso. Here. And Commissioner Mallory Fenrich. Here. And then our alternate, Benjamin Rubin, is absent with an excused absence tonight.
Thank you. At this time, we'll ask any planning commissioner, member of the staff, who has a direct conflict of interest on any scheduled agenda item to be considered, to declare their conflict at this time. Hearing none, we'll move to public comments. No action can be taken. At this time, members of the public may comment on any item not appearing on the agenda and within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Planning Commission Board. Individual comments will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes per person, and each person may speak once during this time. Time cannot be yielded to another person. Under state law, matters presented during the public comment period cannot be discussed or acted upon. For record purposes, please state your name and city of residence. Please make your comments directly to the Planning Commission Board. Do we have any comments?
I do not see any comments on my email.
Okay, we'll move to the consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are to be acted upon by a single action of the Planning Commission Board unless otherwise requested by an individual Planning Commission member or member of the public for special consideration. Otherwise, the recommendation of the staff will be accepted and acted upon by motion of the Planning Commission Board. On the consent calendar tonight, we have the posting of the agenda for the April 20th, 21 Planning Commission meeting and the approval of the April 20th, 2021 agenda. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Need a motion, Madam Chair.
Do I have a second?
I will second that. This is Chairman Link.
And that was Dinan for the first.
Yes.
Okay. Chair Stewart.
Yes.
Vice Chair Link.
Yes.
Commissioner Dinan.
Yes.
Commissioner Basso.
Yes.
And Commissioner Fenrich.
Yes.
Okay, that's approved 5-0.
Thank you. We'll now move to Planning Commission public hearings. The public notice for item 3.1 was published on April 7th, 2021 in the Riverbank News. Item 3.2 was published on March 3rd, 2021 in the Riverbank News, and it is continued from the March 16th, 2021 meeting. Items 3.1 is a tentative parcel map application. Donna, would you explain, please?
Yes, this is tentative parcel map 03-2020, Jimenez family, and Gabrielle will be presenting the item tonight.
Thank you, Donna. Bear with me a moment. I'm going to share my, actually share my screen and then do the PowerPoint slideshow.
Gabriel, this is Norma. Sorry to interrupt, but can you make me a panelist in the city media recording, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, some technical difficulties.
We're good, thank you.
Let's see. Okay. So does everyone see the PowerPoint now? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, okay,
Yes.
there it is.
Yes.
So yes, as Chairperson Stewart mentioned, it's this item's for the Jimenez parcel map, tentative map parcel map 03-2020. Okay, the applicant, Mr. Celerino Jimenez, is requesting that the Planning Commission review and approve tentative map parcel 03-2020. The proposal is a request to subdivide 2 existing parcels into 4 parcels. Parcel 1 of 9,015 square feet, parcel 2 of 10,583 square feet, parcel 3 of 10,661 square feet, parcel 4 of 9,015 square feet. This is the assessor's map for the property. You can see it's located on the north side of California between Matthew Lane on the east and 8th Street to the west. And here's an aerial of the subject property. These are the 4 parcels here connected on the westmost and eastmost. Both of those parcels are vacant and undeveloped. To the north is residential, to the east there's residential, to the south is I believe the California Elementary School, and then to the west is California Avenue Park. And then this is a diagram of the tentative parcel map. Here you see the 2 main or the 4 parcels. The 2 parcels in the middle are the larger parcels with existing single family residential units with carports and some accessory structures. The applicant was informed to remove and relocate some of the accessory structures to meet the setback requirements on the side and the rear yard. Sorry, let me go back real quick. Okay. All 4 lots meet the zoning requirements regarding the lot size, which is 6,000 square feet for the R1 zone. They all meet the minimum width requirement of 55 feet. They all meet the minimum depth of 100 feet as well. Okay. The general plan designation is LDR, lower density residential. The general plan designation is R1, single family residential. Regarding the general plan consistency, the proposal is consistent with policy 8.6, compact development, also goal and land use, managed urban growth. Also, the project is consistent with policy land use 2.1, balanced and diverse use of land. And also number 4, which is goal, economic development, which is number 10 of diversity of housing. This project makes it suitable for more single family residential in the future for the vacant lots. Regarding the environmental, the proposed project will not have any significant impact on the environment and is categorically exempt under section 15315 class 15 minor land divisions involving 4 or less parcels per CEQA state guidelines. The project was notified in the Riverbank News on April 7th, and all residents, business owners, and property owners within 300 feet were notified of this application and the public hearing. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2021-008 to approve parcel map 03-2020 to subdivide 4 parcels of approximately 39,000 square feet into 4 parcels. And that concludes staff's presentations. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. Do any commissioners have any comments or questions on this?
No?
No.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Do we have any questions, comments, calls from the public on this?
I have no emails and no phone calls on this.
Thank you. Well, we'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pass item 3.1, the tentative parcel map application 03-2020.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Is that Basso?
Oh, sorry, Mallory Fenrich.
Oh, sorry.
Now we have a roll call vote.
Yes. Chair Stewart,
Yes.
Vice Chair Link,
Yes.
Commissioner Dinan,
Yes.
Commissioner Basso,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fenrich.
Yes.
Okay, that passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we'll move to item 3.2, which is a development agreement amendment. DA 01-2021/Department File 21-0006 flavors.
Okay, I will be handling this one tonight.
Thank you.
Gabriel, you'll have to remove your shared screen so I can share mine.
Okay.
It's putting up a fight.
Okay, go ahead now, Donna.
Okay, we'll get the hang of this one of these days. Okay, to share. How's that? Did it come up?
Yep.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, wonderful. Which is strange because I can't see it. Okay, so we'll just move on, see what happens here. There we go. Now I got it. All right, so this is Development Agreement 01-2021, and it is for Flavors, or the first dispensary that we had in town. Here's a project aerial of the site. We have Oakdale Road here, we have Patterson Road here, there's Cruisers, and then we have the Auto Parts Place next door and the call center behind it. We did send out in time all the public notices to neighbors within 300 feet of the site. Here's their site plan. You can see they have a lot of parking in the front. You actually can leave the parking lot and go through the parking lot for the auto parts store here, or you can go in through Flavors. People coming off of Oakdale Road into Flavors, or off of Patterson Road in this location, or farther down by that vacant parking lot. The front of the building, if you haven't been by to see it recently, it hasn't changed. So the reason that we have this development agreement amendment is Flavors has an existing public benefit payment that they make to the city and have been making monthly for the past 3 years. It provides, it goes into a public safety fund, and is supposed to help with safety in the neighborhood, burdens on the infrastructure, and other services. So the first 6 months they were paying a $10,000 flat fee or $5,000 gross receipts, whichever is greater. Then it went to a second tier in the 7 to 12 month time of $15,000 or 5%. And then the third tier was to the end of the term, at the end of the 3 years, at $18,000 flat rate or a 5%, of gross receipts. Fortunately, they have been doing well, and except for the first couple of months, they've been able to provide us with the gross receipts rather than just the flat payment. But unfortunately, with the state and all the taxes that come with it, when you have a cannabis operation, they are paying upwards of 25% of what they make towards taxes. And they are struggling with, paying their employees and vacations and healthcare and all those items. And so they have approached the city manager and will be approaching the city council to modify their public benefit payment. So the public benefit payment would be a flat payment of $30,000 per month to the end of the term. So this is one of the changes in the DA. And the second change would be that the 3-year period has terminated. So this would revive their development agreement for another 3 years. So this would be a flat payment of $30,000 per month every month for the next 3 years. Whenever you approve a DA or a DA amendment, you have to make sure it is consistent with the general plan, which it is. It's not detrimental to the health and safety or general welfare of the city. I contacted Chief, and he provided me with the information that he has not received any calls for service at Flavors. It should not affect, the project should not affect orderly development or property values. I have been monitoring this site on Zillow, and housing prices have not gone down. The DA must be consistent with the government code for the state that regulates development agreements, and we found that to be true. And the DA must contain a legal description of the property, which it has for the past 3 years and still contains that same information. So any development agreement or use permit concerning the regulation of a cannabis activity, they do have a use permit, and that has not expired. So that will still be enforced with all the conditions that regulate the building, where the development agreement regulates the business itself. So these should be consistent with a guiding principle of our general plan, which is our city should be safe and healthy for all our residents. The environmental analysis shows that this project does qualify for a categorical exemption. That's applicable to existing facilities that do not expand the site and will not have a significant effect on the environment. In fact, in the past, when we've had items with Flavors, there has been a lot of concern by the neighbors for parking and for traffic flow. Well, today happens to be 4/20, which is a cannabis holiday. And so as you might expect, Flavors was very busy. And I spent a good deal of my time this morning out in the Flavors parking lot, monitoring parking and the traffic flow. And I'll have to say, for the amount of people that was there, they did a really good job. People were coming in and out. They were staying in line. The line was staying to the side where it didn't impede traffic. I was able to just drive into the parking lot. When I came in, there were 3 available parking spaces. I was able to get into one. When it came time to leave, cars waited for me to get out. It was very orderly, and I'll have to say I was impressed for the amount of people that they got in and out of there today, as well as the traffic. So the recommendation is to adopt the Planning Commission Resolution 2021-10 that recommends to the city council that they adopt the ordinance that approves this development agreement amendment between the city, and that's the wrong name on there, my apologies. That should say the group that owns Flavors. I forgot to take this part out. This is a typo. I'm sorry about that. But that is the correct resolution number. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you for listening to the presentation.
Thank you, Donna. Any commissioners have questions or comments on this?
I have a question, Madam Chair. This is Dinan. I want to just clear up on the printed agenda. Your recommendation is to approve resolution 2021-009. In your presentation, it was 2021-00 or 010, which is correct.
It is 009.
Thank you.
My apologies. I was starting to use parts of this presentation for our next planning commission meeting. You have to start early, you know. And so I was working on that next project and that slide inadvertently got in there. My apologies.
You're forgiven.
Thank you. It's been a rough day.
Well, hanging out in the parking lot.
Yeah, there's nice people out there to visit with. It was a great scene.
Do we have any other commissioner comments or questions?
I have a question, Donna. So is this considered in any way a potential burden for the city? I assume it's some sort of price cut from what we've normally been getting from Flavors, and does that cause any problems with what that money currently goes to fund? Or just what are the city's thoughts on that?
There's actually a surplus in that fund. We have been using some of the money to fund a part-time code enforcement officer, and that position is currently empty. He had to resign last year for family reasons. And then they also used the money for some police officers. And so those are covered right now. And the rest of the money goes to the cameras that we have up all over town to monitor traffic and license plates. But there is a large surplus in there right now.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Donna, do we have anything at all from the public on this one?
I have no emails and no phone calls. And up until the point that we put out the Planning Commission agenda, I did not get any emails or phone calls on this either.
Thank you. Then we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I motion to approve item 3.2 development agreement amendment and master file number 21-006 for Flavors.
That should probably be dash, is it 006 or 009?
009.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, do we have a second?
This is Commissioner Basso. I will second that motion.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Sorry. Chair Stewart,
Yes.
Vice Chair Link,
Yes.
Commissioner Dinan,
Yes.
Commissioner Basso,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fenwich.
Yes.
Okay, it passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, now we're going to move to Planning Commission comments. Any comments? Okay, county referral correspondence or information? Anything?
Well, staff had received a referral recently, in fact, today. So I wasn't able to get it on the agenda. I believe the agenda says none. Tom, are you still there?
Yes.
Is it okay if I share that referral that I sent out? Or does that have to wait till the next meeting?
No, you can do that. I'm not taking any action tonight.
Okay, great. Okay, so the referral that we got is a notice of availability of a draft environmental impact report. It's the ACE train. It's from Ceres to the Merced. It's the extension project. And it actually the review period for the environmental document starts on April 22nd. So that's 2 days from now. And the reason that I wanted to bring this up is they are going to have a couple of virtual open house meetings so people can participate and comment or at least see the information that's going to be made available. So the virtual open house meetings are all on Thursday, May 13th. And they start at 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. There's night owls. And they end about 7:30 in the evening. So there's 3 different meetings. And we can definitely get this information to anybody who wants to know about it. But they can also find out information on acerail.com, Mercedes extension. And yeah, so that'll get you all the information you need about the urban areas, the water, major roads, railroads. And if you have any information to share with them on some potential impacts, this would be a good time for folks to do it.
Thank you. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, staff comments. Oh, item 7.1, project updates. What do we have?
Well, we have McDonald's. Now, I was out there today on a site visit for a planning final. They did have to make some changes to the building after the Planning Commission approved it. When they started to work on the inside, it turned out that there was a post that goes up to the beams, and that post was restricting the amount of space they had for ADA to come through that area. So they had to kind of reconfigure the front of the building a little bit to get that post moved out of the way. So there'd be at least 36 inches there for wheelchairs and, people with walkers. So, I'm sorry? Oh, I thought someone said something. So when they did that, they did change up the facade a little bit too. They moved the sign and selected some of the newer colors that McDonald's has started using. So staff did approve that. They are going to open they're trying to open the 2 drive-throughs and keep the rest of the parking lot closed this weekend. And if they kind of pick up the pace and they get in some parts that they're waiting on for the landscaping, they may be able to open up the parking lot for to-go orders like DoorDash and Uber and such should be able to walk up to a specific window, get the food and get it to your house. But they will not have inside seating this weekend, but they hope to get off the ground. So that's one of the projects. And as you can see from the last slide that I shared, at our next Planning Commission meeting, we'll have another DA amendment for Perfect Union, which is the dispensary that's right next to City Hall. So we're kind of going through, and we're glad that we made these DAs with a termination date of 3 years, because it allows us to not only assess how the city's doing with that public benefit payment, but also how the business is doing, because we want our businesses to be successful and not, run them to the ground where they feel like they can't be here anymore. So this is giving us a really good opportunity to go through all these DAs and make those adjustments. But they will have another 3-year extension. So if it turns out that, things change a little bit, maybe the state is collecting less taxes. Yeah, maybe. We can still go back and renegotiate again in 3 years. And
Donna,
yes.
Yeah. And then Donna, I think also we wanted to update the commission on the Kiwi's gun shop. Remember that one was approved by the Planning Commission for architecture site plan review.
Yes,
I think go ahead.
Yes, I'll get to those. Yes.
Okay.
So in the past, you did do an architectural site plan review for Kiwi Guns on Santa Fe here in the downtown. And because of COVID and the economy, they had scaled their project back to a one-story structure instead of two, with the hopes that in the future, when the economy picks up, they could go back and redo the second story. Also, the third dispensary that got architectural and site plan approval by the Planning Commission is Canamart on the vacant lot there on Patterson, just a little bit west of Carl's Jr. And they had come to you with a two-story building and are now taking it down to a one-story building as well, in the hopes that they could go to two stories sometime in the future. So there have been those adjustments and accommodations for some of our businesses.
Great. Well, we need our businesses to stay healthy. So.
Yes, we do.
Okay, is there anything else for tonight?
No.
Okay. Meeting's adjourned then.
Thank you, ma'am. The next meeting will be May 18th.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.